everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing a Valentine's Day set with Natali Carmona's Real Nude and her liquid monomer and this size 14 Kolinsky brush from Nail House. So getting right into the set, it was a little bit cool in my room, so it was a little runny, but there were ways that I could have avoided that happening. Instead of me going right in with the bead and placing it on the nail, I should have had let it settle for about 3 to 5 seconds, and that probably could have been avoided. So anytime that you allow the acrylic to set on your brush for a little bit, it's called you're palmerizing it, okay? And you want to keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you just let it sit there for a second, just so that it can thicken up just a little bit. Now, you don't want it to thicken up too much because you don't want it to dry out fast either. So you really have to build a relationship with your liquid and your powder, okay? Now, you do see that indentation of a line in this nail, and that was simply because I did not blend the tip to the natural nail, okay? I do the pop-off method, so there's no reason for me to blend the tips into the nail. But since in this video I was covering it with the hearts, as you see that I'm doing now, I didn't really too much worry about it, okay? And so getting right into the thumb, I'm gonna place that right where the apex is, and you want to kind of push it in a little bit. So as you see there, I'm trying to push it into the center a little bit and drag it down with the body of your brush, okay? And as you notice, I did tilt my finger down a little bit just so that all the acrylic could flow down. And you really want to keep that in mind as well, especially when you get up around the cuticle area. You do not want it to flood in that area, okay? If it floods in that area, it can be a mess, guys. You don't want any acrylic to flood in the cuticle also, because it causes lifting. So that's one thing that you want to keep in mind when you're dealing with applying acrylic. So if you can get your liquid to powder ratio down packed, then it will be much better for you. But in this case, I was really not trying to waste time. I wanted to get the video done. I had already started really late, almost 11 o'clock at night. I started this video. And so I knew if I didn't hurry up and get it done as fast as possible, then I would be up all night, So that was something that I wanted to avoid, okay? So I'm placing that last bead up by the cuticle. And as I said before, I got my finger tilted down a little bit at an angle to try and let that acrylic flow down, okay? And I'm just letting it sit there for a second as well and palmerize on the nail, as you can see. And as you notice as well, I'm constantly wiping my brush. Now, you want to constantly wipe your brush just to avoid it getting caked up and your brush becoming really dirty, okay? I know that is a thing that people struggle with a whole lot, is keeping their brushes clean. And so I had thought about doing a video on that. A lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't use acetone to clean your brush, but it actually does your brush a little justice. As long as you're not letting it sit in and soak in there for a really long time, it does your brush justice, because you can use the acetone and you can use the monomer both to clean your brush, and your brush should be all good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I look at it like if you can't use acetone, then what are you going to use? I mean, going out there and spending extra money to buy a brush cleaner is overrated, and it's, you can use your money for something else. You know what I'm saying? You can spend your money on some nail supplies versus buying brush cleaner. When acetone will do the trick for you, you just have to avoid keeping it in there so long. So like on this nail here, I really did a big boo-boo there. But I know how to go back in and clean it up really quickly. Some people struggle with that, and that's okay. You just got to keep working at it, okay? So I did put a little bit right there right underneath the apex. I really didn't want to cover that whole nail in nude. I wanted to keep it a little, nude at the top and a little clear at the bottom. And I'm going to go in with some hearts on that nail as well. So now I'm going to gently place some pieces of glitter just surrounding the nails, like basically to bring the nails out a little more, if that makes sense to you. Just gently tapping it around those hearts on both the pointer finger and the ring finger, okay? Now my middle finger, you'll notice that it is already done, and I had actually did my middle, I will actually do my middle finger for a reel for my, for my TikTok and all of that. So I did not really show me doing the middle nail. So on my pinky, as you will see, I am trying to center that acrylic because you want to bring that acrylic to the middle. Just avoid it making your sides look bulky. You want to, I'm telling you guys, you want to save your wrist when it comes to filing, okay? Because you don't want to be like halfway through your nail journey and then you start hurting your back, your wrist. You want to avoid all of that, and you want to make sure you're eating properly. Some people go as far as exercising, because you just really want to stay healthy when it comes to being a nail tech and dealing with multiple clients throughout the day. Okay, so yeah, keep that in mind, guys. Now I'm going to go in with this clear acrylic, and it's actually Mia's secret. I do have it in a not polished container. I don't know why I put that in there, to be honest. I don't know why. I think because it was a shorter container. And you know, with the Mia Secret, theirs is a little bigger, and you know, once you get low, you got to reach all the way down in there. And it's just, to me, it's better to put it in a shorter container if your acrylic is not full to the top in a bigger container, okay? Yeah, it allows you to pick up your beads better when it's right there, front and center, okay? So I am going to make sure that I cover up the hearts. As you can see, I'm making sure I'm cleaning under the nail and there's no acrylic left under there to foul. And I'm gonna do that on both the pointer and the ring finger. You want to encapsulate. Anytime you have nail art or anything like that, please, please, please encapsulate, guys. So when everything is all dry, I am going in right now with my 100-180 hand file, and I'm just shaping those nails, making sure that I shape at a 90-degree angle, and I'm getting underneath that nail and making sure those ridges are also straight, because you don't want those to snag on to anything, okay? So keep that in mind whenever you're doing your client's nails. You want to also get those ridges underneath the nail, because if that get caught onto anything, it will rip their nail completely off, okay? So if you can avoid any of the dangers when it comes to nails, please do so. So as you can see, I'm filing under the nail, and I'm filing, making sure that my nail file is straight up against the sidewall. And that is how you create that perfect shape, guys, okay? You want to make sure that you are not favoring one side. And what I mean by that is not filing too much on one side and not matching the other side to match the, you know, that side. I know that was like a tongue twister there, but you want it to be even on both sides, okay? And so I love using my hand file versus using the e-file to file the nails. Now, I will use my e-file to go around the cuticle, but I just think that is so much more pleasant to use your hand file to file the sides and file the surface of the nail, okay? That's just my opinion. To each his own. Everybody has their own preference, but I just think that it comes out a way, way better. Your nails come out way crisper when you do that. So when I finish filing, I will take my 5-in-1 bit from Pana that I did get from Amazon, and that is also in my Amazon storefront, so I will leave that link down below. And yeah, I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna go around my cuticles and seal the cuticle area. Now, the nail drill that I'm using is from Melody Susie. And as you all know, I am a brand ambassador for Melody Susie. So I finally got my discount code, and I'm so happy about that. So I will leave that link down below as well. My link to shop on Melody Susie, and you'll be able to use my discount code to get 12% off. Now you want to ensure that you are properly sealing the cuticle with your 5-in-1 bit or safety drill bit, whichever one you have, just to make sure that no moisture gets trapped under there and you can avoid your client or yourself getting greenies. Because once that water gets under there, it's trapped. It has nowhere to go. So it's going to do is form a moisture pocket. And if that keeps happening, if it's a constant cycle of that happening, it will become a greenie. And if you're not able to treat greenies, it will eventually turn into fungus. So once you have fungus on the nail, it's really hard to get rid of it. I know they do have some treatments that you can do to get rid of it. They may have a prescription that you can take to get rid of it, but who wants to go through all of that? You know what I'm saying? So if you can avoid having a greenie in the first place, that would be your best bet, okay? And if you don't have it down packed yet to where you don't know how to properly seal the cuticle, then I wouldn't advise you to take clients, because you got to realize people are going to have their hands in water when they wash their hands, when they cook, take baths, whatever. Their hands are going to constantly be in water. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you're not ready to, if you don't know how to properly seal that cuticle, I advise you to practice on yourself, or get you a mannequin hand, get you a silicone hand. I know that they have them on Amazon, and I'm going to actually add one to my Amazon storefront, one that is really good quality. I'm going to add that to my storefront, so that way you can shop my storefront and purchase it, and you'll be able to practice on that, and I recommend that for a lot of beginners. So now, as you see, I'm taking my nail file and I'm filing the surface. Now on my pointer finger, I did file it too much. I must have not had enough clear acrylic right there, and it started turning that heart silver, like it had lost, I had fouled off that color of that heart. But that's okay, because I had silver in there and red and black, and it all just went together perfectly. So that was okay. And, I just didn't worry about it too much. So now I'm taking this sponge buffer, which is from Profiles Backstage, and it really, really does a good job at getting those scratches away. As long as you're putting a lot of pressure on it, it really does a great job, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and buff out all the nails, and when I get done with this, I will get into the nail art. So I'm taking this pretty red color gel polish here, and actually this gel polish was a part of a gel polish line that I was supposed to be starting, but I did have to put it on hold for a little bit because I have other things going on. I do have another business that I am about to start, so I kind of held off on getting those gel polishes out, but they will be out. I'm gonna say at the beginning of 2024, I will have my new gel polish line out, and I will be also adding acrylics with that. So I am trying to work with different vendors to get the perfect buttery acrylic and very pigmented gel polish, okay? And I'm really, really happy with this vendor that I'm with so far. They have not failed me, okay? But to get back into this set, I'm just cleaning up that extra gel polish around the cuticle, and I'm going to take some red glitter and just sprinkle that on top of that nail, okay? After I'm done doing that, I will pop it in the lamp for 60 seconds. So on my pointer finger, I am going to add the letter XO, just because it is a Valentine's Day set. I'm going in with this gel paint from Profiles Backstage. I really like their gel paints because it's easy to cure. You do not need a top coat for that. It basically has a top coat built in it. And it's very consistent. It has the perfect consistency, okay? So, yeah, if you have never shopped from Profiles Backstage, go ahead and check their website out. You do need to make an account if you plan on shopping with them. That'll be the only way that you'll be able to check out and you're not licensed, okay? So they do accept people who are not licensed, but you just have to create an account with them, okay? And this was actually a deleted scene that I ended up putting in the end because I'm like, wait a minute, I forgot to put XO on my pointer finger at the end of the video. So that's why you see one of my press-on nails on my right hand is missing. And then you'll go in the rest of the video and you'll see it on there. That's because this was a deleted scene. So I did have to go back in and add that. But, you know, things happen. That's life. You know, we forget things, okay? Now on my middle finger here, I am going to take take one of the bling and use it as basically like the middle of a flower. Okay, so I am going to go around the nail and I am going to add flower petals. Okay, now I really don't do the 3D flower that much, but I decided to do it in this, and I was pretty happy with myself of the outcome of how it looked. It was really pretty. Okay. Just keep in mind, whenever you're doing 3D nail art, 3D flowers, you want the bead to sit there for a little second and then you place it on there. You wait for that bead to polymerize a little bit and then you go in and you push it, okay? Now, the best thing that I have done for me to achieve this nail art is I would add a little bit of monomer and a little bit of acetone together. That way it makes it the right consistency. It won't make the bead runny and that sort of thing. Now, when you're doing acrylic application, you can also do the same thing. You can add acrylic, or you can add acetone, a little bit of acetone to your monomer if you're having issues with your beads being too wet. So as you can see, while I have enough time to play with it, I'm constantly forming that petal. I'm pushing and I'm dragging it up and forming it into it to look like a flower petal. Now I'm going in with the second bead. And as you see, I'm waiting there and I'm holding it before I place it on the nail. Okay. Then I'm going to let it sit there some more. And on the sides, as you notice, I'm going around and I'm kind of like shaping it into that flower mold. Then I'm going to eventually shape it into what I want, the petal, okay? And then I'm going to go in and crease it with my 3D nail art brush and just basically push it into a flower petal. It's so simple, so easy. When I first started doing 3D flowers, it took me quite some time to learn how to do it. It's not an easy thing, But if you make it easy, if you just follow the instructions, it will come out easy for you. If you just watch tutorials, I will do a tutorial on that. It's very, very simple, very easy. I'm actually gonna have like a little online paid event, or like a little master class where I'm showing different things. I'm showing acrylic application. I'm showing how to do 3D flowers, your liquid to powder ratio. I am gonna do something like that later on down the line. Probably not right at the moment, but yeah, I will get into that just so that we all can succeed in this nail journey. Because I mean, we all have struggled. We've had our times where we felt like giving up. I know I felt like giving up in the beginning, but I just kept pushing and I kept going, and I did it, guys. I did it. And I know if I can do it, you can do it as well. Now, I did forget to mention that I did go in with a top coat. For this particular set, I use shiny. You can also use matte. Both of them look very fine with 3D nail art. But for this instance, I did shiny just because I had two other nails that were also shiny. Now, I decided to do some of the scenes of this video in real time. Some parts of the scene I did speed up, and some of them I kept in real time, especially right here with the 3D flowers, just so you can see how I actually do it, okay? If you have to go back and rewind, maybe play it in slow motion if you have that chance to, go for it. You know, that's the only way you're gonna get it, is by practicing and looking at a tutorial. That was how I learned how to do nails. I didn't learn how to do nails from nail school. I learned how to do nails watching V Nailed It and Natali Carmona and Portia Nailed It and all those great influencers, long hair, pretty nails. I watched them and they have taught me a whole lot about nails. And that was how I started my nail journey. Now, I've been doing nails for probably about this will be the third year now. Yeah, this will be the third year because it's 2023. We're in a new year. So in the month of August, September of this year, it will be 3 years that I have done nails, okay? So I'm super excited where I have came in my nail journey, and I have a lot more to learn, you know. I also am a big fan of Marie Nails. I don't know if you know who she is, but she does Cardi B's nails. I'm in her monthly subscription that she has on Teachable, and I have learned so much from her. I just love Marie Nails. So I will leave her, I think it's, yeah, her little link for you guys to sign up for her monthly subscription, where she's teaching you everything about the nails and what to do and what not to do. I'll leave that in my description box below. So now with my thumbnail, I'm going in with this black gel polish. It's from iGel Beauty. I can't remember the name of it, but I will leave that linked in the description below. And I'm just going to cover that whole nail. You want to be careful once you get around the cuticle because you don't want to get that on your skin. Since it is a darker color, it will be harder to come off. And I'm going to take some black glitter and sprinkle it on top of that. So as you can see, I had sprinkled too much. So be mindful, guys, that you do not want to waste your product, okay? I don't know what was going on with me there. I might have been looking at my phone, or I might have been trying to look at TV or whatever. But I did accidentally sprinkle too much. So now I'm going in with the cuticle oil. And this is the end of this video, guys, okay? So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.